came from China as an atheist. I believed nothing but science. I was studying the structure of eye in med school, and I realized that the human eye is so complicated. Trillions of cells has to line up perfectly for visual signal capturing and interpretation. If any one of those cells gets out of line, the person will be born blind. So I had a big problem, and the atheist me at the time, that how could so many cells form in such a short period of time out of randomness? So I kept on asking a professor, and he said, "Man, what's a cross street?" I said, that's a car. He said, "What's the difference between a car and a human eye?" As a human eye is a lot more complicated. He said, "Okay, can you imagine how a random piece of metal form itself into a car?" I said, "No way." And he said, "How about human eye?" So right there, he opened a window in my life, making me realize that it was formed with a specific purpose for vision. So there's a designer, a creator behind that. And I start with my journey believing first there's a creator, there's a God, and later on, more specifically, the God is in the form of Jesus Christ. And Christ has died for our sin so that we could have a chance for eternity.
You really believe that in 1969, when televisions were still in black and white and folks were still using rotary fucking phones, and most new cars sold in the United States didn't even have power windows or fucking air conditioning, that we just strapped two cowboys into what was essentially a fucking Coke can with a Chevy small block attached to it and just launched them motherfuckers out into orbit on nothing more than a hope and a fucking dream, and somehow managed to land that glorified bottle rocket safely on an uncharted lunar surface, where they then got out and played hopscotch for a few hours, and then they got right back inside that motherfucker, and then somehow managed to launch themselves back off the goddamn moon with no infrastructure. And then a few short weeks later, they landed safely back on Earth. You really fucking believe that that happened? Goddamn, you're a gullible son of a bitch. I bet you still believe in fucking Santa Claus, you goofy bastard.
Well, I suppose when you put it that way.
Why haven't you guys run any ballistics on the bullet? We don't have to. We found the gun. But experts on that specific gun are saying that that would have just blown his neck completely off. The coroner said he had strong neck bones. Right. What about the text message thread between him and his girlfriend that ended up not being real? His trans girlfriend! He showed us a thread, and it was proven that it couldn't have possibly been real. Everybody makes mistakes, even us. About the story that pulled on our heartstrings about his little daughter running towards him when he was shot because she was scared of the noise. They weren't even there. They were in a different state. I don't know where that story came from, but the story of his dad turning him in because he supposedly confessed to his dad, it was really because a police officer said, "Hey, you're a person of interest. You might want to turn yourself in so you don't get shot by a SWAT team." So he did, right? Technically. But what about how they proved the guy in the picture couldn't have possibly been him because it was a totally different jawline? Look, you're asking a lot of questions and we don't have all the answers. It's been almost a month and you don't have any answers other than the ones that we've proven wrong.
I'm about to show you a set of coincidences for you to ponder, but for my safety and your safety, please do not come to any conclusions. Deal? Cool. This is Tyler James Robinson, the alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk, who a lot of us now know by name. But according to Google Trends, somebody, maybe multiple, in the DC metro area was searching for Tyler James Robinson one day before the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Okay, you see this big spike over here. That's on September 12th. That's when we all found out through the news who he was and started Googling his name. But this small spike on September 9th, that's kind of weird, don't you think? Now, what about the Losi Center, the building where Tyler Robinson allegedly shot Charlie Kirk from? Well, again, for some reason, a small number of people in the Washington, D.C. area was Googling Losi Center 2 days prior to Charlie Kirk's assassination, September 8th, 2025. What is that all about? Once again, this is when we all heard about it, and some group of people over here 2 days prior was, just having fun Googling Losi Center. Now, what about a Mauser 98? You've heard of that? Well, evidently there was pretty much no interest in the Mauser 98 until August 27th, when somebody, once again, in DC was like, I am curious about the Mauser 98. Once again, to reiterate, these are all just coincidences. And since this information has gone viral, people are now reporting that all of that data has now been scrubbed. And so this is what it looks like now. Nothing to see here. You guys have heard, once is happenstance, twice is coincidence, 3 times is enemy action.
That's the medical examiner. It is a woman named Dr. Deidre Weiss Amaro, and she blew in from California. She was announced as the new state medical examiner in May of 2024. So I'm interested in learning as much as I can about this medical examiner. I'd like to know more about this medical examiner.
You know who else wanted to know more about Dr. Deidre Amaro? It's our friends over there in the state of Israel. But check out this date, June 30th, 2025. A sudden spike in the interest of the head medical examiner of the state of Utah, Dr. Deidre Amaro, emanating from, once again, the state of Israel, for reasons unknown. What about Timpanogos Regional Hospital, the hospital where Charlie Kirk was declared dead? Well, there's pretty much no interest in Timpanogos Regional Hospital in the state of Israel, because why would there be? Except this spike that happened about a month before Charlie Kirk's death. That is very odd. And it was a surgeon from this hospital that told us that Charlie Kirk was a quote-unquote man of steel, and that his body stopped a bullet that would typically just go through everything, and it was an absolute miracle. We don't know yet which surgeon supposedly said that, but here are a few surgeons who work at Timpanogos Regional Hospital. We got Dr. Stephen Nealman, Dr. Robert Patterson, Dr. Lee Peterson, Dr. Lee Trotter, just to name a few. I wonder if anybody was searching for these folks.
Stephen Nealman, July 18th, 2025. This was out of our friends on the other side of the planet over there. Very curious about the surgeons in Utah, you'll find out. Robert Patterson, MD, July 23 and 24. I go to the next one, Lee Trotter, someone with an IP address originating in Israel. Looking up surgeon Lee Trotter, near about that same July 20 time period. Are there other surgeons in the area? Yeah, as a matter of fact, there is. There's a guy named Lee Patterson. So I look up Lee Patterson. Somebody with an IP address originating in Israel in the week of July 20, that week on either side of July 20, was very interested in all the people who practice surgery at Timpanogos Regional Hospital in Orem, Utah.
So yeah, I don't know. We can either believe that there just happened to be a few people in the state of Israel in the month of July and August who were very interested in finding out more about a certain regional hospital in the state of Utah and who the state's head medical examiner was, and the different surgeons in the area. Or maybe there's just one too many coincidences to not investigate further. Oh, and by the way, I just checked what Google Trends looks like now. And yeah, looks like absolutely nothing to see here, guys.
So Donald Trump on national TV congratulated his daughter for leaving Christ and accepting Satanism, right? And then some people are like, no, Greg, it's Judaism. And then I say back to you again what I said, it's Satanism. It's Satanism. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you guys know it is. You could tell by looking at that guy in that suit, next to that star of Satan that's literally a 6-sided star that stands for 666, the Antichrist. But you guys can't even notice that simple symbolic nature of these bad guys, right? And it's like you can tell by looking at that guy, like he might actually be the devil.
Right under our noses, they did a live child auction at the 2014 Oscars, and then we all laughed.
Hi. Hey, Jeffrey, how are you?
And then she says hello to Jeffrey Epstein at the beginning.
How's everybody doing? Good? Is anybody hungry? I just feel like everybody's got to be hungry right now. Good. I was hoping you'd say that, because I have this crazy idea that I will order pizza. And so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer? Yes? Harrison? Yes? All right. Too large? What do you think? I'm going to order some pizza. That's what I'll do.
And then the money in the hat part was like mocking the church. And then the names like Kevin Spacey, Weinstein, like none of that aged well.
So I borrowed Pharrell's hat, and I thought I'd pass it around and get some money for the pizza, because nobody ever really, what do you have, Harvey? 200? 200. That's a start. That's a start. Let's see, what do you have, John? Would you have 20? Kevin?
20. That's for you.
Thanks so much. Okay.
And then notice that she changes to white when she serves the pizza. And you know what party is all white?
Come on down. We have cheese. We have different kinds. Who's hungry? Who's gonna eat on this side? Okay. Cheese. That's a cheese. Yeah. Julia wants cheese. Who's your favorite movie star? They're here. Who do you want to talk to?
Yo, you guys seen Buddy in the back? He was all trying to get up and get a slice.
The whole thing? All right, great. And then I don't have any money. Who here has... Sandy? Where's Harvey Weinstein? Harvey. No pressure, only 1 billion people watching. Whatever you feel is right.
It's like they had an inside joke that they thought would never get out. Like, they went really overboard with the pizza obsession, which I feel like makes it more suspicious. And then it's like, if they were talking in code, pizza means children, because we know about Pizzagate. And then based on that, cheese is girl, meat hot dog would be boy, because... And they talk about it in code because they get off to doing it in front of everybody secretly. Like, only the elite understand what's going on. What other purpose would there be for this? If you don't believe me, explain why all of this nonsense. Let me know what you think about this. Obviously, you don't have to believe this. It's just fun. It's a conspiracy theory. And come over here for longer freaky videos.
So it's just a random person on a portrait? Like, you don't even know who that is, you just bought it? Clearly the dog knows something's up.
How funny are these mark-ins, you guys? We have different colors, different hair. This is insane. Skims, baby.
I'm starting to think these people are just bored out of their mind and they're just doing anything at this point.
If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you probably recognize the guy seen in the photo behind me. However, if you haven't and you don't recognize this guy, you will not forget his name after this. This is a 2-image slideshow. The first image shows a gynecologist by the name of Dr. Nikita Levy holding a young child. The second image shows his official medical headshot, as well as a pen in a pocket with a hidden camera on it. As previously mentioned, Dr. Levy was a gynecologist. This means that he specializes in female reproductive health, and as such, he's going to do examinations of female reproductive organs, what's down between the legs and the breasts. For years, Dr. Levy had seen thousands of patients until one day one of his colleagues recognized a camera on a pen that was around Dr. Levy's neck. This was reported, and authorities, upon searching his home, discovered thousands of images that were taken on these secret camera devices. He was fired and took his life 10 days later. Johns Hopkins was ordered to pay out roughly $190 million to roughly 8,000 patients that could have been victims. Just a horrible situation overall.
My biggest worry about this whole thing would be like what they did with all the footage and information, right? Because it is kind of considered evidence. It makes you wonder if they got rid of it or if they just stored it somewhere.
Put the car in park. Let me see your hands. Put them on the steering wheel. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Over here. Hands behind your back.
Well, that is an Israeli government official as police arrest him as part of a sex sting. That official was in town for a cybersecurity conference, now facing a sex-related charge.
So prosecutors say he drove to a park to meet a 15-year-old girl.
And videos and evidence the 80s Now investigators obtained show what was said in those chats before police detained him and he left the country.
This is the moment Henderson police took 38-year-old Tom Alexandrovich into custody. Alexandrovich, an Israeli government official, accused of meeting a young girl for sex.
going to grab the cell phone in the middle.
Police say Alexandrovich was in town for a cybersecurity conference. Prosecutors say he drove from his hotel all the way to a park in Henderson to meet that girl, who was really an FBI agent working undercover as part of a sting.
You're going to the station, so you have to put your handcuffs.
Yeah. Police say Alexandrovich met the decoy on a dating app, the conversation then moving over to WhatsApp. Grand jury transcripts revealing in that conversation, the undercover agent told Alexandrovich she was, quote, only 15, and that she's, quote, too young to get into most places. The decoy later asking Alexandrovich to, quote, bring With the agreement, they meet at the park.
Now, hours after his arrest, Alexandrovich posted $10,000 bail, never saw a judge, and left the country.
Everybody knows why he left the country, bro. Israel has that one thing where if you're convicted of pedophilia or anything in the United States that has to do with children, you can become an Israeli citizen and basically they just wipe your charges. They say it's a pedophile safe haven.
Do you support ICE keeping more people off the streets and kidnapping them?
No one, since Donald Trump has been in politics, has made a video about this. See this right here? His sideburn goes down the side of his head, all the way back to the back. That's at least a foot long. I bought some hair extensions. This is laid out. I got the tape measure set at a foot long. I just want you to realize how long this really is. This is just what the side of Donald Trump's hair would look like when he gets out of the shower. God knows what the hell the rest of his hair is doing and how it hangs. I just wanted to point out that the side of his head is so prominent, like that slick back piece of hair. And this is what it would look like when he gets out of the shower.
There's people in the comments dead set arguing that that's not a foot long. Regardless if it's a foot long or not, bring all this sliver of hair down and let it hang, and I guarantee you it'll still look the same. Foot long or not, it's still the Jew haircut.
People take ketamine and they all have the same vision.
When they do this drug, they all get the same idea, which is that the machines are coming together, they're evolving to eventually take over, and that we are hanging ourselves with the rope we're currently building by building this.
It's a little weird that different people from different places, different countries, different life experiences would take a drug and have the same kind of vision.
Totally.
That can't be organic.
And the fact that people are taking these drugs and they're very powerful and they work in tech and they are getting the same ideas, the same fears. They think that in some cases they're talking to the same entities.
Like ancient sacred art has the same images.
Right.
Created on different continents at different periods. They couldn't have had contact with each other, so why are they drawing the same Birdman or the same purse? Because they're seeing the same visions, which suggests that those visions are real.
I'm sure you all want to hear the remaining tea with the Sarah Safari video. Now, the craziest part about that video is Sarah is Iranian. Now, what happened is I was hitting a little bathroom break between asking questions apparently you're not supposed to ask. As I was walking to the bathroom, I happened to notice Sarah. I was like, you know what? Let's hit her with a question. I'm sure she'll answer it just fine.
Asking questions like that. That's
Why not? And I can tell you most certainly she answered it in the worst way she possibly could, which now makes me wonder, is she getting paid $7,000 per post? But anyways, as you guys saw in the clip, she storms off. I go in to continue doing the business I intended to do. Now, the more interesting part is when I'm on my way out of the bathroom, I'm immediately greeted by Sarah standing there with now her posse or crew. Unfortunately, my videographer was being essentially harassed by them, so they felt the pressure, and they're not like a videographer, someone I had to hire on the split, because this would have been another great video to film. But they essentially approached me after trying to pressure the person I hired to film the video to delete all the footage. It was illegal, I repeat, illegal for me to film Sarah Safari in a public place at the Olympia Expo asking a question. Because after that filming session and after the confrontation and them trying to force me to delete the clip and the footage that we have just filmed, it really actually left me wondering why so defensive. I don't know who her management company is. Maybe you guys can do a little bit of digging. And also, I just want to say I absolutely love you guys for this comment section.
She permanently blinded herself because she identifies as transable. Jules Shuping has had the dream of being blind since she was 6 years old. At the age of 21, she decided to actually make her dreams a reality. At first, she would spend hours staring directly at the sun, hoping to damage her eyesight, but she hated the fact that she could still see, so she did the unthinkable. She found a doctor that agreed to help her blind herself by putting drain cleaner into her eye. They even waited over 30 minutes before going to a real hospital to make sure that there was permanent eye damage, which has now left her 100% blind. After her family found out that she did this on purpose, they never talked to her again. But Jules somehow says she's the happiest she's ever been. And she's not the only person who wants to become disabled. Here's a woman who chose to live a similar life in a different way. But Jules has since become an advocate for transable people. She emphasizes that her actions were driven by a deep psychological need and not the desire for attention.
I never did like seeing my reflection.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this world is becoming pretty sick. This has gotta be mental illness.
It looks, smells, and tastes like the butter we're all familiar with.
Eat bugs! Eat butter! Carbon butter made from thin air. Guess who's behind it? Yeah, of course it's Bill Gates. Here's some butter made out of people's breath.
And this butter breakthrough, it's happening right here in Batavia. Something unprecedented is happening.
Who would have believed it? They were just sitting around trying to design butter alternatives, and then they did. And then Bill Gates invested in it. What great news for everyone, especially Bill Gates. For everyone, except for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, who just actually, there are what victims?
The company is called Savor.
It's the circle of life.
And you better believe it. Their pioneering tech uses carbon and hydrogen to make the stick of butter you see on this plate.
This is pretty novel to be able to make food that looks and tastes and feels exactly like dairy butter.
So they're sort of trying to replace agriculture with laboratory-made food. I get it.
It's really just our fat, some water.
Then they can centrally control food and we won't be able to partition, resist, or rebel. Yeah, I get it.
How?
Why?
Fats are made up of carbon and hydrogen chains. The goal here? Replicate those chains without animals or plants. And they did it.
Yeah, fuck them. Animals and plants have been holding us back ever since the Garden of Eden. Those guys, the animals and the plants, have been nothing but... Wait, hold on a minute. Can't live without them. We can now, as long as we're willing to bow down before Satan.
People's Republic of China, a fourth of the world's population, incidentally, and the head of the whole intelligence system. So there's no question about that. There's nothing wrong with having a president who knows something about something, incidentally. Though I'd never worked in this field, well, I did once in Washington.
It seems to be a common occurrence that world leaders and politicians seem to secretly marry men.
It's a secret. Don't tell anybody. Let's keep this video between you and me, because it's just too disturbing. Obviously, this person resembles Aleister Crowley, so probably is some kind of relation there. They're all kind of related somehow, right? At the end of the day.
Is it possible Aleister Crowley was Barbara Bush in drag? It looks very likely.
Androgyny, which means there's a controlled breeding program. They don't reproduce normally. It's controlled reproduction. Whatever is going on, I seem to be enjoying it. All first ladies have been androgynous alchemists. It's pretty obvious. Now, a lot of people say, oh, come on, man, that's just a nasty old woman. It's a nasty old man, all right? Come on, man in a wig, all right?
Okay, you need to see this clip. This is Donald Trump at the royal court shaking hands like usual. But then this guy shows up and completely steals the show. He grabs Trump's hand and doesn't let go to show that he is in complete control of this situation. And as you can see, what he says here completely rattles the president. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, he pulls a stack of pictures out of his pocket. He says a few words here, seemingly savoring this moment, and everybody in the back is wondering what the hell is going on. He shows the images to the president and the prince, and Trump immediately wants to take these pictures away from him. And then the mystery man and the prince share a laugh while Trump is just staring in disbelief. He tucks what he has away in his pocket and then snatches the other stack of papers from his hands, but he just laughs it off because I'm pretty sure he has his own copies. It looks like Trump is scrambling to explain himself, but they're obviously not buying it. If anybody knows who this guy is, or if you know how to read lips, it'd be pretty sweet if you could decipher what they're saying in this video.
I know where you're going with it. You're going to say it's all controlled by the right?
Do you think that's wrong?
I do think it's wrong, yeah.
Why is that wrong?
Because I don't think there's a secret agenda that controls the entire world.
It's actually not secret at all. They boast about it. You know, AIPAC, the biggest lobby in America, 98% of their endorsed politicians win elections. They put that on their website. They talk about it all the time.
I also just saw today Benjamin Netanyahu just openly stating in front of the whole world his plans on brainwashing because so many people are turning on. Literally pays influencers to suck their. This should be an outrage to everybody.
Well, I know what I'm doing. I know how I'm making my money from now on. Quit jobs, quit everything. This is what I'm doing.
So now they're paying you to get brainwashed.
Love you, Erica. Charlie, 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 Charlie. Love you, Erica. Charlie, Charlie, Charlie.
Exactly.
Because the CIA and the reptiles run our world.
Right.
There was no transgender. That's just the next new thing that they can fuck us up with. But the reptiles, for some reason, like transgender. So that's why Jennifer Aniston was born as a boy and transgendered to a woman.
Yep, obviously.
Courtney, all of the Friends cast are transgender.
They flipped.
Okay, that's Hollywood.
Right.
Not just them.
Right.
Not just Cher, who's a man.
Cher's a man, yeah.
Cher's a man, okay?
Sonny Bono's a woman. Wait, no, their kid is a... Wait.
No, their kid's transgendered because when you sign a deal with the devil to become famous, you have to kill a child.
Yep.
Then you have to give up your first child to death or transgender.
One of the
Look
two.
at Hollywood.
Right.
So you either kill a child.
Yep.
I can't do it, but I want to be famous.
Second choice.
The reptiles are right here going, do it or don't. Not in reptile form.
Right.
But they're in your coaches, your mentors, your local fucking school boards.
Yeah.
It is down to here. Okay, that's what we do in voting, but none of that matters because the reptiles control everything. So voting never mattered.
Never.
And I didn't vote until Trump came. I voted when I was a teenager for Governor Rowland.
Okay, yeah.
Because I worked for him.
Okay, yeah.
As this in college.
Yeah.
And then I found out he became governor. And that, again, just another check on the list. What the fuck?
Right.
I believe him.
Part 2 of running with scary music, but this time, okay, holy shit. Put it in my backpack. How you guys know I'm being fucking serious? Holy shit. Dude, I'm actually hearing fucking shit. No. Oh my god. Yo, no, what the fuck, dude? Shit. Put it louder. Fuck it. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. What if someone chases me, bro? Okay. Fuck is that? Am I ascending, bitch? Hiroshima bomb? No. Pause the music. I'm actually hearing shit. I love fucking horror. But when I'm actually in danger, fuck that shit. No, but I ain't no bitch though. Oh my god, what the fuck? This shit like Dead by Daylight or some shit? Oh my god. Is that a fucking chainsaw? We actually in Dead by Daylight in real life, bitch. I'm fucking gone. I'm done. There's no more variations of this. So instead do a graveyard. Fuck no. But if I had to end this series off, yes, running with scary music does make you run faster. Look how beautiful the sky is though. Damn, boy.
I swear one of those screams sounded real.
Do the people involved in the creation of AI believe that it's a spiritual entity, that it's more than a machine?
So this is Tucker, the $1 trillion question. They talk about creating artificial intelligence. The real question, the real thing we should be concerned about, are you creating an artificial intelligence or are you giving a body to a pre-existing intelligence that previously wasn't incarnated in the physical world? So, I mean, here's a quote from Turing. We shall not go any further into the nature of this oracle apart from saying that it cannot be a machine. What a lot of people are concerned about and what Silicon Valley is seemingly getting up to, okay, so a machine can't be aware of what it's doing. If there is such a thing as demons, angels, spirits, as Aleister Crowley called them, disincarnate intelligences.
Disincarnate meaning intelligence without a physical body.
Yeah, could we be creating a physical body for the demonic?
It's my first day on the job. I've been practicing my salute all week.
He's got more heart than half the force. Sometimes that's all a city needs.
Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here. If you guys did enjoy this video, let me know by leaving a thumbs up and or subscribing if you guys are new. If you guys would like another video Monday, let's go ahead and get this video up to 200 likes and I got you guys. But as always, I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me and I'll see you guys in the next one.
YBH.